We get to return back to a simpler time where assault mode monsters are kinda relevant. You guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. I am very happy to get to re-look at assault mode monsters because this is one of my favorite archetypes in the entire game's history. Now, ghost rares, I assume if we had any movement, it'd be... I don't know, we had a couple actually. Okay, well, I mean, I guess people just wanted some ghost rare copies. Ultimate rare copies here, on the other hand, are going to be decently priced. Heavy play mod damaged all day long, but for the copies you had move of this, they moved anywhere from 15 to 20 bucks, which I guess isn't too terrible. But, alright, Stardust Assault Mode. Now, this was the big one that was going to be moving. People saw Omni negate, and, you know, they kind of clunched onto this. I don't really blame people for this. Right now, you can get a mod play for $12 to $13. If not, you're sitting at $30 for near mint for these, which is kind of insane, actually, to see. I mean, somebody did buy a heavy play for $1. Looks like light play for $17. If you weren't really expecting this card to go crazy, then I mean, you were kind of doing it wrong, honestly. Looks like the Archetype Magician Assault Mode, $10 basically for first ed mod plays. Assault Doom Kaisers have a little bit of value, but that means I've played Doom Kaiser. The Hyper Psychic Blaster I see mod for $4. Looks like the Red Dragon Archfiend Ultras. A lot of these, the problem with a lot of the assault mode is these cards don't have reprints. Konami, you know, besides like the Stardust and whatnot, they're just very expensive. And of course, the Arcane Apprentice, we saw this thing going crazy yesterday. If this was used for the synchro summon of a synchro monster and send the graveyard, get to add an assault mode activate from your deck to your hand. Yeah, this thing's actually expensive, man. It's like $8 a rare. But once again, you know, your problem is you're locked up all the way back in Crimson Crisis. Colossal Fighter Assault Mode, 34 listings still. That one didn't get too crazy. The old Duelist Pack Ultra, if there was one version of this that was going to get pinged, I figured it would be this one. What sales data do we have here? Looks like $2 to $3. I see a couple $4 and $5 in between here. Somebody bought 30 at $3.67. That must have been a really good sale, actually. And then, of course, you also have the super rare from Duelist Pack 9. So, I mean, there's plenty of Stardust Assault modes, and it also had the OTS Common, which is 20 cents. So, not really losing out too much on that. I think that that's your win. Now, the one you really do care about, we haven't hit yet. Here he is. The Halbird Assault Cannon. This big boy right here is the one that you are probably going to play the most, because it says when your opponent would summon a monster, you can quick effect negate that summon. If you do, banish that monster and all special monsters your opponent controls. And this thing also technically tags down into the TG Halbird Cannon, ignoring summoning conditions, which is really, really funny. But this is also a 4,500 attack and defense mode monster. Like, this thing is chonkers, and it's also a rare. It's like 30 cents. Definitely a version to be looking at. For those of you that have been kind of exploring Genesis format, or honestly just been wanting to have, you know, a little bit of fun with the game, Lancelot has been coming up kind of as a discussion point here, because what is this? When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you target a face of card your opponent controls, destroy it. And once returned during another player's turn, when a spell and trap card or another monster effect is activated, we detach one from this card to negate that activation. Now, unlike other negation-esque cards, this one doesn't negate and destroy, just simply negates the effect, which is actually kind of interesting. You're looking at about $11 a copy for these, but also you're looking at the low rarity versions. The super rare from Breakers of Shadows has been creeping up to about the $7 mark right now. So, interesting to be seeing, you know, how this card is kind of flipping around and, you know, current set predicaments. Emilia, the dance priestess of the Necros. We have 42 listings of this. Now, a few people have, disregard the $27 or $28 sitting here. A lot of people are like, why is this card going up in price? Well, one, it basically facilitates a lot of interesting Necros interactions. But there's also the whole fact of, this was one of the short prints in Monster Mayhem. I don't know if people forgot this, but Monster Mayhem did have short prints in it, or, you know, not as printed cards, if you really kind of want to get technical there on the, you know, namesake for that. But you are looking at about $7 to $8 a copy, which, once again, you know, seeing $8 a copy is nothing too crazy, but it's enough that, you know, I am kind of gonna be a little bit opposed to wanting to go crazy on this. Marshmallows, oh boy. So the Starlight Rare has been getting eaten up in price. You're up to $205, $222 for European English, $223 here. Why are you surprised about this? People will invest in decks that they are performing well with because they like them, there's bling to them. There are all sorts of reasons that we see people gravitate towards, you know, decks and wanting to, you know, invest into these sorts of options. This is another primary case of that. I mean, look at your sales data here. You know, these have been moving in between. 220 is a crazy number to see for this, though, I will say. Now, the rest of this set, I mean, Noroy's still 160s. That's not too bad. The Jericho Tail, this has gone up to about $80. That's interesting. The Doom Queen, these have been holding pretty consistently. Does look like the Dominus Spirals are on buyout status, 2 at 86s. I shouldn't be too surprised to see that. Marshmallows are $64 a marshmallow. And we are down to not a lot of listings for these. Well, I guess your takeaway here, everybody, is yikes. That's a lot of money. The Floors have also gone up. We also had the Garden Rose Maidens breaking $97, which is crazy. Oh, hey, look at this. It looks like our Doom of Dimension boxes are gaining traction. Yes, I remember when these were $37 a box. Well, what happened to Doom of Dimensions? This was a $37 set not even a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Welcome to reversing the course. People saw those $37 boxes and they said no. Yeah, people are dumping their money back into this set. It looks like Doom of Dimensions actually is turning itself around here, which is, that's a crazy, don't let people hear you talk about Doom of Dimensions going back up and breaking those numbers, because that's a crazy concept to see. We've also seen, the Bramble Rose Dragons. These are basically 35s on Starlights. I don't think that's all that bad. The Mosers, $30. You can get a Japanese one here for $5 for the Ultimate Rare. The Radiant Typhoon, these buyouts still continue. We took a look at those. Also, the Amathes. This was another one that actually has been kind of disappearing. This is on the normal or special or destroyed by a card effect. You get to add a Doom Z from your deck to your hand. We just got a new card that destroys this out of the deck. And then while this card is equipped, when equipped to a quick effect, special summon a Wind Machine Exceed monster with the same rank as this card's level. So basically just get to slap on top of it. But free search is actually pretty insane. And the fact that, we are seeing this card gaining traction doesn't make sense. God, Noroys are $27 in this set. It's so bad. $32 copies of Jupiter, the Power Patron of Disappointment. It's so crazy to see. Your Rage Rose Dragon, $22. It's actually not bad. The Dimensional King Crisis, $22. The problem with this set is, even the bad cards are tanking down. I mean, look at this. Draco Awakening, $15. Dominus Spirals, your next expensive secret, are $17. Frixels, $15. Crocea, means barely holding on at $15. Starlight copy of the Phonics, $14. Shepherd's Crook, $12. You can actually bling out this deck, and it actually looks nice. Jupiter, your sneak peek card, these are $11 actually. You can get the Starlight for the new Masterpiece for $9, which is crazy. And we got $8 copies of the Machinex, which has been pretty standard, but just judging by how this set is, it's recovering, actually. And that's pretty telling, actually. So what do you guys think about everything? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.